Good evening. Welcome to the final episode of the Courtroom of the Mind. Today we're talking about the verdict, reclaiming authority over your own life. After weeks of testimony, after examining the evidence, after cross-examining fear, after exposing false narratives, there's only one question left. Who gets to decide your guilt? Because if you don't consciously step into the role of judge, someone else will. Act 1, who's been holding the gavel? In life, verdicts get handed down by family systems, cultural expectations, religious misinterpretations, hustle culture, social media, past trauma, and your younger self. And here's the twist. None of them had jurisdiction. That's the line. They were loud, but they were not authorized. And that's powerful. Act 2, the difference between guilt and responsibility. Here's where we talk about legality, right? In court, guilt must meet a burden of proof. In life, we assume guilt without examination, right? Responsibility is what is actually yours. What part you had in your role is the responsibility, right? Whether or not you were liable for something is your responsibility, right? Was it a choice you made? Was it a decision you made? Was it an action that probably wasn't the best one and you take responsibility for it? Versus guilt. Guilt is what was emotionally assigned to you. Something that was put on your shoulders, whether or not it was actually your responsibility or whether or not it wasn't. Or was it projection? Was it scapegoating? Right? Was it manipulation, gaslighting? What tactics were used that got you to feel guilty about something that had nothing to do with you? And oftentimes as perfectionists, especially recovering perfectionists, we have a lot of guilt, a lot of shame that we take on that doesn't belong to us, but we feel like, oh, well, nobody else is going to take it, so I may as well take it. And a lot of us have a guilty conscience to begin with, whether or not we did something wrong or whether or not we just feel bad about the situation and we want to try to make it better for someone, right? Anyone. Because we know what it feels like to be falsely accused. We know what it's like to feel misjudged. We know what it's like to be condemned, right? To be told you should be doing this and you need to be doing this and you should also do this. Did you forget this? And yes, you're oversensitive and all our flaws, right? People are okay telling a lot of people what they think their flaws are and what they need to do to fix their life, whether or not they have a front row seat to that person's life or not, right? A lot of people are all about shirking responsibility, about not doing the things that they need to be doing, yet they are free to tell other people what they should be doing, right? Because they know other people's lives, right? Doesn't everybody know your life, right? I feel like a lot of people feel like they know my life. Whether they do or not, I mean, I guess they think they do. So ultimately, that's, sometimes that's the best, right? I think I know your life. I know what you do and I know what you don't do. Great. Sounds good. So scapegoats carry guilt that was never yours to bear. And that's unfortunate. Probably because you've been dealing with it a long time. You say, hey, I have broad shoulders. I got it. I can take it. Put it on my shoulders. Sure. Perfectionists assume responsibilities for outcomes they do not control. And I know that that is a big thing for a lot of us just because we want to take the burden off others. We want to be helpful because that is what we've been programmed to do. To be helpful, to be considerate, to be loving. And I hope that some of you that have been dealing with this for a long time are able to feel seen. Because a lot of times people who are perfectionists take things from other people to try to lighten their load. But then you kind of wonder who's lightening my load, right? People are constantly telling me what I'm not doing, what I should be doing, what I can be doing, what suits me and how my life actually goes. It's like, wow, you know more about my life than I do. So Act 3, declaring a mistrial. If the evidence was fabricated, if the witness was unreliable, if the prosecutor was biased, then the only lawful conclusion is a mistrial. You are not required to serve a sentence for a crime that was never yours. Act 4. The authority transfer. Authority was outsourced. Healing is reclaiming it. You become the judge, the defense, the evaluator, and the final authority, but, and this is important, not from ego, from grounded self-trust. In closing, the verdict. In the matter of you versus your past, after reviewing all the evidence and being duly advised, the court finds not guilty of being too much, not guilty of being difficult, not guilty of failing impossible standards, and not guilty of breaking cycles. Case dismissed. You are free to return to your life unburdened, unsentenced, and completely whole like you deserve. Because the whole time, this has been a case of projection, gaslighting, and manipulation so that you can take the role once again for someone else and be a scapegoat, which is no longer applicable in your situation. Go and live a wonderful, beautiful, happy life that you deserve. Have a great day, and thank you for tuning in to the Courtroom of the Mind. Hope you enjoyed this series, and hopefully it helped you find some clarity and some understanding and maybe lighten some of your load. That's my hope. Thank you all for tuning in, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye. Come back and see us again soon. And again, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for your time and for tuning in. Bye-bye.